Well, good morning and welcome to Wake Up Well this morning. Here we are now in spring, in this season of transition in the natural and in where we are in this pandemic. This season we've long awaited for, being able to get out again and back to a more normal socialization and freedom. And so this week we're looking at transition. I'm going to read from Isaiah 30, verse 15. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. Repentance and rest. Well, repentance, we know, is that change of heart and mind. And this is our lifelong journey. The Bible tells us clearly about renewing our mind, and that's renewing our thinking. And that's where repentance comes. No, it's not just saying sorry, but it's that turn around, change in our thinking and our behaviour. And so it's that change in heart, and it is in rest. And we know rest is far more than just sitting back and lying down, but it's that place of heart peace, that place where we can hear him more clearly as we come to rest and come to really know what's going on in our heart and mind and how he's speaking to us. And so here we are in this transition, and we know in transition that everything changes. So our rhythms get slightly disturbed and upset, and it may be that through this kind of a lockdown confinement time we found different ways of just being and relating to God. Maybe we've had different patterns, maybe we've had longer in the mornings or in the evenings or points in the day where we've come and just sat with him and listened and been at a different place. And now here we are, maybe some of us are off in the evenings again and, coming in, and it's quickly then to bed and plan for the next day, or our days are looking different. And there's more going on around us. Maybe kind of our hearts are waking up again. And these are all great things. We've been deprived and isolated for so long. And so this is a great transition. But every transition brings change, and that can also be unsettling as well as great. And so as we transition, how do we find the new rhythm, and how do we make that time and space still for our life with God, that place of prayer, that place of just stealing away with him so we can be at peace in the midst of, lots of busyness, where we can go and rest with him and hear him, to stay in that attitude of being willing for our hearts, attitudes and minds to change. Well, let's take an example from Jesus. Jesus, in the height of his ministry, in the height of his busyness, constantly went away and stole away with the Father, maybe in the early of the morning, after that time of where he'd, done that big teaching and fed all those people through the miraculous multiplication of the fish and bread, when Jesus stole away. He was always with his disciples and among the people, but he found those moments to steal away. And how important now, as we come into this transition again of a life where we can be around people, where we can be busy again and socializing, where how important is it that we just build in and create rhythms where we're finding time to go and be with the Father, where we can go and get strengthened. I love that Isaiah here says that it is in quietness and trust is our strength. And that doesn't mean a life of lockdown. That means just finding that time to quiet our soul, to steal away. And so I encourage you, as we just tread out into this period of finding what life again is like, a life full of being able to interact properly again with people, then how do we find our new rhythms? How do we find those spots to steal away with him, to get refreshed, to have our soul in that place of alignment, of being willing to hear him change, to be at peace and to know his strength. Bless you today.